Alrighty, so we are in the garage. It's Friday, it's 4 o'clock, and we have a modification to install on the Jeep today. The Jeep JL sector shaft brace. So I was reading through the instructions here, and pretty straightforward. Undo the track bar, bolt here, pop these 4 loose up here, and install this nice heavy duty brace. So on the Jeeps, there's been some welding complaints on them, and you can kind of see that's, I mean, it's welded better at the back than it is the front, which is, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I don't know if that's ever gonna really be a problem or not, but before I snapped that thing off going down the trail, I kind of figured, as relatively inexpensive as this kit is, that we could put a brace on there and it'd be nice and safe. So I wanted to work on that this afternoon, but first I got to get that out of there. And then I think just for clearance, you're supposed to take the sway bar end links off, but I'm really not seeing, well, I guess it's that one right there. That's going to be the problem. I was going to say, I'm not really seeing why you would need to do that, but I guess maybe you do. It would be real easy to drop that out of the way real quick. So, well, anyway, we're going to get rolling here. All right, this track bar bolt looks like a 13/16, and then the nut on the back looked like a 21 when I tried it earlier. Oh yeah. That's really nice when it's a new vehicle. Pops right out of there. Hell yeah, that's cool. And then I picked up the Mongo Kahunga 42 millimeter for this pitman arm up here. Make sure it's actually a 42. Yes, it is. Cool. Well, what size are these? Those are not 13/16. Should be 3/4 on the one side. No, it's even smaller than that. It's going to be metric. Yep, it's going to be metric. Whoa. Let's actually get that on there, huh? Gonna be like that. You're gonna make me take it off manually. There we go. Yep, I gotta take off the other side, as expected. Next up is the pitman arm nut, and that guy is a 42 mil. Probably gonna need an extension on that too. Come on, get in there. Yippee-ki-yay. That had some Loctite on it. We got to get out some blue thread locker. Is this also a 42? Yes, it is. Awesome. Let me get out some blue thread locker. It's hiding over here somewhere. This is some fancy gel thread locker. Ooh. We'll do a little on that side. Do a little on that side. Cool. We can put that away. I'd have the garage door open, but it's a little chilly outside. The sun's out, but it still feels cold. Where's my 1/2-inch drive? There it is. Figured we'd put this back on by hand. I have to get the impact or the torque wrench out and torque that. There is a torque spec on that, 184. Let me snag it real quick and we can get this thing torqued up. All right, took my foot and shoved it against the other tire and gave her heck. So now that we have that on there, we need to zip out the 4 bolts holding the steering box on and go ahead and get that brace hooked up. Shouldn't really be any fluid in there. That's kind of weird. Oh, I know we need an extension to get that one out, so let's get an extension on here. So there's 2 long bolts and there's 2 short bolts. There we go. Steering box just kind of flops down there real quick. It's no big deal. I'm not holding my tongue right here. Something's different. What is different here? Ooh, that light's hot. There we go. Give her a little tap up there. I'm hitting something. Oh, this isn't lined up, that's why. There we go. And let's get the short bolts. Feels like it started, but I want to kind of confirm that. Run those in there by hand real quick. Yep. Okay, install. a low profile bolt and the associated 1/2-inch washer and lock nut. So there's one. And install the sector shaft brace up in between the ears. And then one side gets, where's that grease zerk go? Goes towards the front, yep. So let's show you what this is here. So we just put the new pitman arm nut on. Hopefully that's not in the shadows too much. But we need to get this bolted up in there, just like so. I can see that you can't see what I'm doing. I'll try and get the light a little closer. That works much better. So we need to get that brace, this piece right here, up in there and screwed in. So let's get it screwed in. I think on the back side it is this tapered guy with no, let's see, do not tighten, install the rear. Okay. Actually, I should see what size that is first. There we go. Hopefully you can see that okay. Loosely install the stock track bar bolt through the frame. Begin tightening hardware. And that's our new track bar bolt. So I can tell already we're not quite lined up. Gonna have to get out the hammer. All right, after a little swearing, I loosened those top bolts and stuck that big one in at the bottom. So we can begin the process of snugging these down. Because there is a sequence to it. So I've got the back bolt and the front bolt in, but they're not tight. So now we start cranking these things down. So looks like, oh shoot, did I miss one? I did miss one. We got to stick one more bolt in here. All using factory holes. You don't have to drill anything out, which is really nice. But now we got to tighten those down. There's a torque spec on that upper one, and it is 60 foot-pounds. So we will grab our torque wrench and run her up to 60. Okay. Oh, I jammed her in there, didn't I? Okay, 60 on that. All the steering box bolts go to basically 100. It says 99, but let's be honest here, 100 isn't that big of a deal. I'm going to check them all one more time. Not that I don't trust myself, but this is not something you want coming off going down the road. Okay. The last one's torque to 30. Yep, 30 and 30. All right, we're on the home stretch here. Next up is the grease zerk. Sorry for the absolutely horrific lighting here. There we go. Just so I can get a grease gun on it at a nice angle. I like it. And the last thing is we got to put this little guy in, which is a little retainer that goes up right there and into that hole. So I got to get out some more blue thread locker and squirt a little blue on here. Just trying to go in there cross-threaded. There we go. Now it's going in there right. I don't know if you can see that, but we're going to try it. There. Might take some persuasion to go back in the hole. Yeah, just a little. Won't be bad. Alrighty. Let's see if it's still a 21 in the back. Hopefully. Nope. It is now a 22, which I do not have out. We're going to start it with the impact gun and finish it off with the torque wrench. All right. And I believe that guy is pretty torquey. 125, yep. That is not something you want moving around on you going down the road. $125. There we go. I'm gonna be able to get in there without an extension. Nope. I'm gonna hold my foot there. I literally have everything right in the way to torque this down. There we go. Let's hit her again. All right. Sway bar and links. whoops, that's the old track bar bolt. We're going to put the track bar bolt and the pitman arm nut in a baggie. We're going to throw it in the old parts bucket there in the back of the Jeep. And that was a 17, that was an 18. 18's right there. All right, the other side's torqued, but this side is not yet, and it is now. So, there we go, we are installed. Sorry, this was kind of more of a stale, stagnant video, but we've got the Synergy Jeep JL brace installed. All I got to do yet is just pump a little bit of grease into the grease zerk there, but that will hold that box, prevent that potential weak weld point from flexing on this thing. And we're actually going to go take it for a drive once I get the tire put back on and really see if that tightened up the weird little dead zone that these Jeeps have a tendency to have. So garage is a bit of a mess here, but made do with what we could, considering even though the sun's out, it's a little chilly outside. And of course, the 500 watt insane mega flood lamp there is making me sweat. So we're gonna get the tire put on and we'll go take it for a spin. All right, we are in the Jeep now. Just waiting for the old garage door to shut. We're gonna see how this baby drives going down the road. I suppose I should buckle up, huh? We're not gonna go very far, so I'm not even gonna worry about putting my ham antenna up. So it still likes to pull me to the right. Yep, still likes to pull me to the right. But let's jump in the other lane here real quick. Trying to see if my dead zone is any tighter. Yeah, you see when I let go of the wheel, it juts me off to the right there, but this Jeep has always done that. That's the Mopar arms and stuff that are on here. Let's get off of this road crown. This one's particularly bad because it was just repaved, but this road's not too bad. But we're riding off into the sunset now. But let's kick the viewfinder back on here. That definitely got, there was like a, well, it's still there a little bit. Most Jeeps have that tiny little bit of a dead zone in them, but that feels substantially better. I'm going to do this with my left hand. Yeah, now all the steering wheel inputs are exact. Let me flip around here while there's nobody coming. Much better, I can see. Yeah, so now all the steering wheel inputs are pretty immediate. So I'm willing to bet that that bracket really beefed it up a lot. I'm actually holding the wheel to the left, which is not normal. So somehow in all of that, I guess tightening up of everything and putting that bracket on, I might have messed with that. Of course, the amount of torque that this thing was normally taking to go anywhere. I had the steering wheel zeroed, so I would hold it, you know, perfectly level, but I was holding it level. Now I'm holding it to the left, so I might have to adjust that, but I will say it's a noticeable improvement. I think that bracket really flexes a lot on these vehicles, and this simple little modification really does a number on that.